Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Kodash. Double honors to elder apostles, a great millstone that taught me this truth. And blessings to all you sincere laborers out there pushing this truth in all sincerity and faith and honesty. I'm that fellow servant, Kanakla, coming at you once again. Spirit of prophecy. Alright, and I'm going to just get right into it. I remember seeing a video recently from the brother, I forget his exact channel name, might be Meted all the time diligently. But we in a time of prophecy once again. Okay, and that's one of my talents, my gifts. So I'm always constantly watching these prophecies, constantly linking them up with the scriptures. That's your gift, man. You got to find your gift in this thing. But watching the brother video, he put up a lot of current events, wars and rumors of wars. He uploads a lot of videos. And I remember watching this video the other day. Trump came on there proud as hell, talking about we've taken control over the oil. So I'm gonna let this video play, and I got an article, and I'm getting to some scripts. And Lord's willing is edifying.
Thank you. I just spoke to President Erdogan of Turkey. We're doing very, very well with Turkey. There's a ceasefire or a pause or whatever you want to call it. There was some sniper fire this morning. There was mortar fire this morning that was eliminated quickly. And they're back to the full pause. We have ISIS totally under guard. Turkey is also guarding separately. They're watching over everything. So you have the Kurds who we're dealing with and are very happy about the way things are going, I must say. The Kurds, and you also have the Turks watching, just secondarily watching. So we have ISIS under control. We've taken control of the oil in the Middle East, the oil that we're talking about, the oil that everybody was worried about. The U.S. has control of that, and there are no shots being fired.
So as he said, we got control over the oil, and that's what it was always about, man. All right. That's what it was always about, the oil, the resources. So let me get right into a scripture. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity. All right, iniquity is a transgression of the law. All right. Okay, and work evil upon their beds when the morning is light. They practice it because it is in the power of their hands. And and what's in the power of their hands? The military. That's how it's in the power of their hands. They have a military that they can go into any nation. Okay, and when I say any nation, I understand why I say any nation. Because as we can see, they only like to beat up on the smaller nations. Syria, Iraq, Iran. Not even Iran, Salakia. Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, Yemen, little nations, Venezuela, okay. But the big players, Russia, China, they don't deal with them. Even India, they don't deal with the big players, people that got, that equalizer, that nuclear weapon, okay. But the point is, it says, when the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. So by the power of the sword, Esau, Edom. That's how we know who Esau, Edom is today. All right, through the military, America can pretty much go around and do whatever they want to. All right, because they had a powerful military backing them. Okay, it says, and they covet fields. What's fields? This right here, oil fields. We have taken control of the oil. Okay, they covet fields, and that's in the law. You're not supposed to covet another man's field. All right, the Lord divided every nation their inheritance, man. Okay, the Lord gave every nation their land. Matter of fact, I forget exactly where it's at, but Spirit on me, I'll go back to it. It says, they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses. They take them by violence. So they taking people's resources, their oil, their fields by violence, and houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. And that's oppression, man. Okay? says, therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, I am against this family. Against his family do I devise an evil, so bad times. So that's what's coming against his family. Who is his family? The nation of Edom. Esau, Edom, the so-called white people. It says, from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall ye go haughty, for this time is evil. And this time is evil. The Lord devised evil against his family that do these things, that covet fields and take them by violence, all right, that remove that landmark. All right, the Heavenly Father has, beef with this family, and that's the family of Esau, Edom, all right, known as the so-called white people today. So I'm gonna go to this article here, as we just saw previously. Trump say, we've took control over the oil. So it says Russian MOD says U.S. protects oil smugglers in Syria, offers aerial images as proof. So Russia is saying, U.S. is smuggling oil out of Syria. We got proof. Unlike America, what they do is they make such claims without proving anything. Then based off of that claim, that lie, they pretty much are able to invade a country, with no evidence. It says Moscow released photos it claims show the real reason the U.S. wants to keep troops in eastern Syria, okay, to protect the illegal oil trade and reap large profits. Matter of fact, let's see something real quick. Henry Kissinger. See if I can get that real quick. Images. He made a quote. See if I can find it real quick. You brothers know what I'm talking about. How he said, Henry Kissinger quotes. Slovakia. Right here. It says military men are dumb, stupid animals to be used as pawns for foreign policy. Okay? And that's what that is. Military men are dumb, stupid animals to be used as pawns for foreign policy.
The Turks watching, just secondarily watching, so we have ISIS under control. We've taken...
All right. Just due to that phone call, a lot of stuff just start popping off. So once again, military men are dumb, stupid animals to be used as pawns for foreign policy. Here, Henry Kissinger. Now, it says Moscow released photos it claims show the real reason the U.S. wants to keep troops in the eastern Syria. All right, for foreign policy, to protect the legal oil trade and reap large profits. That's what it's all about. Money. All right, money. And that's going to bring me into the next scripture. Matter of fact, Habakkuk 2. I'm going to start at Habakkuk 2, verse 5. Yea, also but because he transgresses by wine, right, his philosophy, his doctrine, okay, his deceitful tactics, okay. He also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desires hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied. Okay, here it is. They, all these countries, they keep going away. They got all the money, more than enough money for their well-being, but they can't be satisfied. But gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And this is the point. Shall not all these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him? So you going into all these nations, okay, and smuggling oil for foreign interests. It says on Saturday the Russian Defense Ministry published aerial images of what is said is clear proof of Syrian crude oil being massively smuggled outside of the country under the strong protection of the U.S. All right. So I'm not going to read this whole thing. I'm going to read some key points. It says the trucks taking part in the smuggling operations are being protected by U.S. troops and personnel of the U.S. private military companies. And that's what they do, private contractors. So, it's, pretty much it's not like, flagship like you can see, oh, this is the U.S. This is, it's on the private contractors, okay? But ultimately, they're privately owned U.S. companies. It says Defense Ministry spokesperson Major General Igor Konchanovov said, whenever a convoy gets attacked, the U.S. Special Forces and military jets are being called in to defend it. Okay? So rather you have the Syrian army, of course, trying to pretty much protect their own landmass, get invaders out of their landmass, and they see these convoys, and they shoot at them. Then what all you got to do is send military jets in to do an airstrike and pretty much protect them so they can continue to steal the oil. It says U.S. President Donald Trump declared that U.S. troops will be pulling out of Syria earlier this month. Pentagon Chief Mark Esper, however, later clarified that some soldiers would be deployed to Deir ez-Zor to secure the oil fields from Islamic State, IS, formerly ISIS militants, which was created by the U.S. But that's how they do it. They create a boogeyman, and the boogeyman goes in, take over a certain region, and then through them, they say, okay, well, we need to help you guys fight off these terrorists. And then once they, so-called fight the terrorists off, they take over the region that the terrorists once occupied, and they use the point of once again that he transgresses by wine. Once again, he used that philosophy of stability. All right, we're gonna keep a few troops here to keep it safe. Now you got a military base, and now they're profiting from the natural resources of that region that they have so cunningly invaded. Okay. It says Pentagon Chief Mark Esper, however, later clarified that some soldiers would be deployed to Deir ez-Zor to secure the oil fields from the Islamic State. Koshenkov accused the U.S. of trying to keep its foothold in a region, continue to exploit Syrian resources, and that's the point. What Washington is doing right now is seizing and holding the oil fields in eastern Syria under its armed control, which is tantamount to international state-sponsored banditry. Okay, they're trying to keep their foot in there. That's why whenever something happened, like let's say a natural disaster may happen where it might hit the Philippines. What the U.S. is there within 48 hours to that country to help aid, so-called in the name of helping aid. Once again, that wine transgresses by wine to help aid these people. Okay, they come there with all kind of humanitarian aid. We're here to help, but they only help you because they looking to gain from you. So now we gave you all this humanitarian aid for as medical supplies, as food, blankets, so on and so forth. Now that we've given you these things to pretty much help you recover from this natural disaster, we need all that money back. Oh, you can't pay us back. All right, well, we're going to put a military base here, stable, to keep this thing stable. And then before you know it, now they're in your backyard. That's how America plays on people. And that's how Satan works. When the one who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ was in the Garden of Gethsemane, I believe, but when he went up to fast 40 days and 40 nights, Satan came at his weakest point to try to infiltrate him. Okay, to infiltrate him, and that's a predator. That's what predators do. They search out the weakest prey because it'd be an easier target. So that's what they do. Okay. It says the Major General further claimed that the Revenue from the illegal oil trade goes through the brokerage companies and ultimately lands in the hands of American private military contractors, the U.S. Secretary agencies. So with that being said, America promotes terrorism. Okay, that's why they create terrorism, because the more terrorism they create, the more money that they can, more revenue they can bring in, right? In the name of terrorism. Okay, terrorism. You know that word right there is worth billions of dollars. Oh, you have terrorists in your country, then through them, like let's say I did have terrorists in my country. Well, let me deal with the issue. Okay, let me deal with that issue. I don't need you coming over in my country, setting boots on the ground, like mind your business, pretty much, you know, and that's what they do. And then if you refuse help, they go to the propaganda. They start to slander. He's allowing his people to be, killed, this, that, and so forth. Down in Venezuela recently, they said, Nicolas Maduro, he's refusing humanitarian aid. He's allowing his people to suffer. He's allowing his people to do this and do that. Why? Because he's refusing your help. And you learn that from people in the world. You like, oh well, I'm not gonna take no gifts from him because he's gonna want something out of it in return. It's something. It's interest. If I ask him for money, he gonna want interest. It's interest attached to that money. Yeah, I don't mind no problem giving you $100. Just know I'm gonna tax you on interest. So by the time you get ready to pay me that $100 back, now you owe me $200. All right, transgresses by wine. That's the ways of the so-called white man. He only can help you if he can get one up on you. He can gain from you. He will not just help you just out of the kindness of his heart. And if he is helping you out of kindness of his heart, so-called, so to say, it's a publicity stunt. He's doing it so people can see him. He just won't do it behind closed doors. All right. Well, nobody can see. He's gonna do it so somebody can see, so he can get some kind of recognition or praise from men. And all the furthermore to crouch himself down, so when he really wants to do some damage, you already see him as a good man, so you're gonna willingly allow him in. And those are traits of a serpent, a devil, man. That's who the devil is, the so-called white man. It says this is the real reason the Pentagon wants to protect the oil fields in Syria from the mythical ISIS secret cells forever. All right, and people are awakened to this stuff. They're aware of this. That's why I said mythical ISIS. Because as we heard the interview with Aaron Russo, he said we're gonna say, oh, it's weapons of mass destruction, boogeyman. You're gonna send these U.S. troops into certain mountains and stuff, looking for somebody that's not even there. Okay, send them off and paint this picture, right, when really the terrorist really is Esau Edom, the so-called white man. It says tensions in northern Syria escalated earlier this month after Turkey launched an offensive against Kurdish forces it considers terrorists. Ankara wanted to create a 30-mile safe zone along its border with Syria, but later halted its campaign to allow the U.S. to facilitate the withdrawal of the Kurds. Okay. Meanwhile, Syrian government troops and Russian military police entered the cities of Manbij, forgive me if I'm pronouncing that wrong, and Raqqa. Shortly after the U.S. soldiers left, Turkey and Russia further agreed on joint patrols along the Syrian-Turkish border. All right, so that's Turkey, Russia, and Syria working together, man, because they're aware of the U.S., man. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to close out on this. It says, shall not all these take up a parable against him? All right, the same man that heapeth unto him all people, heapeth unto him the resources, the fifth verse right here. And jump down to verse 6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. So destruction to that man. So destruction to the USA. All right. That increaseth that which is not his. These oil fields, this oil in Syria is not yours. So the Heavenly Father is saying, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. And that word clay going to the depth. Okay. Shall not they rise up suddenly that shall bite thee? So these other nations gonna rise up suddenly, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them. So spoils, okay? Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all right, mainly America, but we talking about Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. All the remnant of the people shall spoil thee because of men's blood and for the violence of the land of the city and of all that dwell therein. Okay. I'm gonna read this last verse. It says, woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house. And this is evil. Okay? You know how many people have to die behind this? How many people have died behind this, man? Okay? Lots of people have died. So this is evil covetousness to his house. Covetousness, Slakia. That he may set his nest on high. Alright? And parabolically speaking, set his nest on high so he can continue to dominate, man. Continue to take over, to keep that dominance in the Middle East. Okay, so his nest on high to stay in that position. Okay, that he may be delivered from the power of evil, but you're not, man. Okay. Isaiah the 14th chapter. Thence will I bring thee down to the pits of hell, and America is soon to be brought low. So with that, Lord willing, you edify. Give all praise going on and see how Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Kadash, double and seven apostles, a great millstone taught me this truth, and blessings to all you sincere labors out there pushing this truth in all sincerity and faith and honesty. Shalom.